Hi everybody, welcome back to the Skookum Report. I'm Bob, and today's Bigfoot encounter story comes to us from Somerset County, New Jersey. It's called Sasquatch in a Crate on Doris Duke Farms. And this comes from Bobby Short's material, and I want to thank her, friends and family, for letting me share her material. I'm really honored to do that. Now this story is a piece of work. I think you're going to enjoy it. This gentleman writes, I have never been one for having an interest in the unknown or the paranormal. But when someone you trust tells of an experience from their past, sometimes you have to give the benefit of the doubt. My grandfather worked from the late 1950s to the early 70s as a landscaper on the Duke estate in Somerset, New Jersey. When he told this story to my sister and me, he was foggy when giving the exact dates, but he was still very sharp and explained it with incredible detail. My grandfather's job was to manicure and care for the lawns in the north section of the property, whatever that meant, and other various duties. He said that in the summer of 1972, one August afternoon, he was told by the head's groundskeeper that he would be working overtime, and that he was needed because a shipment was coming in from Wisconsin, and they needed about 8 men to unload a crate and bring it into the garden area. That night, the truck arrived, and it was getting late. The men who were asked to stay for overtime were eager to get things done and over with and be on their way. When the truck pulled up, my grandfather said that the crate was about 8 feet tall and 5 feet wide. When he asked what was inside it, the one in charge said that they were exotic trees. What happened next was enough to make half of the team get up and walk off the job and not care about the consequences. When the men started pushing the crate off of the flatbed truck, a blood-curdling scream was unleashed from within the box. All of the men let go of their grip and the crate fell to the floor. As everyone jumped back, realizing this was anything but a tree, the head keeper did all he could do to save the contents' real identity and said that there was a black bear inside of it. While the men were regaining their composure, most of the help walked off the job. They said they didn't want to get hurt or mauled or dealing with a wild animal without the proper safety equipment, so off they went, including my grandfather. Only 2 men stayed to finish what they were asked. This is what was told to my grandfather. The 2 remaining men managed to get the load onto a dolly and then drag it into the garden compound. While guiding the crate down the main path, balance was lost and the crate came off the wheels. The crate hit hard enough to crack the side of the crate and loosen the side panel, which fell off and exposed the contents. What the 2 remaining men witnessed that night was enough to make them seek employment elsewhere. I'm sorry. Oh. What I am telling you was how it was told to me. Inside the crate sat a creature that had the shape of a man, but was anything but a man. They couldn't give a height measurement since the creature was in a sitting position, but they said it was huge. It had the shape of a man with a very large frame, only it was covered with black hair. The creature was strapped down and had shackles on his legs and feet and arms. The face didn't look like a man, but had some human features. The workers said it looked more like a monkey or a gorilla, and the hair was extremely long and dirty. At one point, one of the men said they thought that this thing was trying to speak or communicate with words, but all it did was keep on drooling. They were under the impression that this creature was heavily sedated because it couldn't keep his head up straight. It rested its head on its chest. A couple of inches away from the creature's head was an empty water bottle affixed to the wall, and on the other side of the creature was an IV stand connected to the wall, stuck to its arm. It might have been used to feed this creature during its transport. They're not sure. One of the oddest parts of this story was that my grandfather was told that this creature was sitting on a rocking chair. Now, I could never understand this. After thinking about it, though, I think it was maybe to prevent this thing from getting cramps during the move. They also said that the odor was overpowering and enough to make anyone pass out. The combined smells of urine, waste, and body odor was rank. My grandfather stuck by this story until the very end. About 2 weeks before he passed away, my sister reminded me to bring it up again and confront him, which I did. There was no need to go over the story again because we both knew how it went. I just asked him, "Papa, do you remember the crate you had to move in New Jersey?" And he just looked at me and smiled and said, "Of course." I said, "Did you embellish any of that at all?" He said, "No, there was no reason to. It happened the way I said it happened." I said, "Because now would be the time to tell me, probably." He looked at me and said, "You want to know if I embellished any of that story? The truth is that I am guilty of the opposite. There was so much that I had left out. The story was just the beginning. Remember something. I worked there for 2 more years after that. There are things that a young mind should not hear." I said, "But I'm not a child anymore, Papa. I'm sure I can handle what it is that you have to say." And my grandfather said, "Tomorrow I'll finish the story. Just come back tomorrow." But there was no tomorrow. My grandfather passed away at 2 a.m. that morning in a New York hospital. The story you just heard was true. What happened in the other 2 years? That leaves a lot up to the imagination. A Bigfoot strapped to a rocking chair, heavily sedated, shipped from Wisconsin to New Jersey to a garden. That is just blows my mind. But I read it the way it was written and the way it was compiled. That is something else. If you or anybody you know has a Bigfoot story or an encounter that you'd like to have on the show, put it in an email and shoot it off to me at skookumreport@gmail.com. That's skookumreport@gmail.com. And I'll be sure to get it on the show for you. It definitely is not a problem. All stories are welcome here. Anything Bigfoot. Like I said, I'll just tell them exactly the way that they're written. And there is no ridicule here. It's a safe place to share. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment and say hi. I enjoy talking to you guys all the time, no problem. And I want to send another shout out to Big Mike. And I think that's it for now. And I'll probably have another Skookum report the day after tomorrow, probably somewhere in that area. And coming up very soon, I believe, is the second part of Mary Fabian, the owner-operator of Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. And that's going to be awesome. That was a whole lot of fun talking with her. Everybody go back a couple Skookum reports and check out part 1 with Mary Fabian. That was an awesome interview. All right, guys. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next Skookum report. Take care. Bye-bye.